Imagine if everyone decides to commit into improving the world, either by improving the welfare of others or of society as a whole. Imagine that everyone finds this commitment as overwhelmingly strong that it crowds out all other non-moral interests. And so in this world, everyone is either fighting global poverty or human trafficking or whatever goal that will improve the welfare of others. In other words, this is a world where everyone is a moral saint. So, should we make this world a reality? In fact, we can ask, should anyone aim to become a moral saint? In her classic and famous paper entitled Moral Saints, philosopher Susan Wolf argues that we should not. A moral saint is just the person whose every action is as morally good as possible, a person that is who is as morally worthy as can be. At first glance, there seems nothing wrong with trying to be a moral saint. In fact, it seems an inherently worthwhile goal. But as Wolf argued, there are good reasons to think that we should not aim for this kind of life. Why? Because given that the moral virtues are overwhelmingly present in the moral saint, they are likely to crowd out all the other non-moral virtues that could have developed. More so, it is difficult to develop personal interests and other aspects of personality when the moral saint's only concern in life is morality. There is much that is missing in the moral saint that contributes to a healthy, well-rounded, and richly developed character. As Wolf states, some of the qualities the moral saint necessarily lacks are virtues, albeit non-moral virtues, in the unsaintly characters who have them. For instance, we can expect the moral saint to be overwhelmingly nice in such ways that he or she never comes off as offensive or cynical or sarcastic. But this seems to make the moral saint dull-witted or humorless or bland. In other words, we would find the moral saint to have a personality that is uninteresting. Consider, for instance, our personal ideals, people we look up to and desire to emulate. I, for one, look up to such philosophers as Alvin Plantinga, C. Stephen Evans, and Richard Swinburne for their intelligence, their crisp and clear writing, and their wholesome humor. But notice that the qualities I mentioned have more to do with their personalities and non-moral virtues, and less to do with how committed they are to moral perfection. Wolf, however, admits that there is no logical inconsistency between having these personal qualities and non-moral virtues on the one hand, and being a moral saint on the other. Perhaps one has already spent a considerable amount of life to being an athlete or a great musician, then decides eventually to become a moral saint. But as Wolf emphasized, these interests, qualities, and skills are just happy accidents. They cannot be encouraged for their own sakes as distinct, independent aspects of the realization of human good. And here is the crucial point in Wolf's argument. If we admire and strive towards fulfilling these personal interests and emulating these personal ideals, it follows that we find such aims to be good. But if personal aims are ones we ought to pursue to live a good human life, and aiming to be a moral saint discourages pursuing personal interests, it follows that it would not be good for anyone to be a moral saint. And so, if we go back to our original thought experiment of a world populated by moral saints, our intuitions fail us. While we like our world to have people who are fighting global poverty or human trafficking or founding organizations to improve the welfare of humanity, we also like that there are people who can entertain us with their art, or their humor, or their culinary abilities. People whose company we would love to have. In conclusion, we see being moral as fundamental to our humanity, but we don't want ourselves and others to become moral fanatics. We like ourselves and others to develop identifiable personal self, because developing our personal identities along with various interests and skills is part of what it means to live a good human life.